I stand on existing protocol except for one. My boss is here, so I must recognize him, Senator David Bonaventure Mark. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, mine is just to say thank you. Ordinarily, that is a very simple task, to just say thank you. But given the weight of our gratitude, it is not that easy, but I'm going to try. Let me start by thanking God, because we have, in spite of everything, continued to grow in terms of infrastructure, in terms of students' population, in terms of achievement. God has been on our side, and we thank Him for upholding us with His righteous right hand. My governor, the one they call the sweetest prince, you know, he and Prince Charles have the same trajectory. They were both princes. Then one became king, one became governor. You were with us last year, and you are here again. It just shows you the depth of friendship you had with Amaka. And we know how your program has been. This is a very difficult period for perseverance, because the burial ceremonies for our icon, Dr. Wires, also starts today. You know, it was going on at the same time as this program, but you've been with us. We thank you. Let me say right away that we accept your invitation to build Start-Rite in Calabar. And in the next few days, we'll be sending a formal request for land. But you know, Start-Rite in Abuja is like Hong Kong. We don't have space, so we grow upwards. In Calabar, there's enough space. We'd like to grow as much as possible. So we'll build a Start-Rite in Calabar with football field, with facilities and everything. So we thank you. The chairman of this occasion, General Marwa, I've been waiting for an opportunity to thank you for the pounded yam you gave to me in South Africa where you were High Commissioner. So let me use this opportunity to say thank you. But you accepted our invitation without any argument. As soon as we sent the invitation, you agreed. It is no wonder, because Amaka was a regular visitor to your house. It was your wife's friend, and I believe that was one of the things that informed you. Our own Bishop Kuka. My Lord, the most difficult thing in Nigeria now is finding money. The only thing that is more difficult than money in Nigeria today is finding Bishop Kuka. So I had to employ all sorts of methods. I engaged Mrs. Aisha Dagash. I engaged Father Jake Otonko. We said use legal and illegal methods to just bring Bishop Kuka here. At a point, it was no longer a challenge to bring you. It became an ambition. I said I must get him. And we finally got you, and you are here with us today. It is not just your presence that we needed. It is those words that you spoke to us. Because we knew that if you came, we were not going to live here the same way. So thank you, our own Bishop Kuka. Thank you very, very much. Now, when Amaka passed on, the challenge was to sustain her legacy. A group of friends, a group of her very close friends, came together and said together they will sustain the legacy. And the group of friends now became what we call the advisory board for the school. Let me use this opportunity to thank Mrs. Helen Oru, Justice Fola Shade Ojo, Justice of the Court of Appeal, Hajia Mero Ibrahim, Aisha Dagash, our infantry general, when we want to attack. We send her. Chris Aluta, Lauretta Ndoma-Egba, the first head of this school, who started this school with just one child. And most importantly, Dr. Mrs. Nelly Oburu. Nelly Oburu and her late husband, General Oburu, were the first parents of this school. The first child in this school was our daughter, Zara, who is now studying economics in the US. But the first parent outside Amaka and I was the Oburus. So we thank you for keeping faith. To our very faithful and ever faithful parents, we can't thank you enough. Because when Amaka passed on, you could easily have taken your children away, but you decided to stay with us. We thank you. For the chairman and members of VANEF, when Amaka passed on, I called Maureen. I knew she was doing a lot. I asked Maureen to give me a list of those Amaka was responsible for. And she came with 4 typed pages. You know, of over 40 children she was sponsoring in Nigeria, in Ukraine, in England, all over the place. And I said with her death, if we're not careful, the dreams of these children will also die. So the idea of the foundation came up. And my brother Joru and members of his board offered to drive the foundation. So thank you very, very much. Now, our friends who have stood with us through this period, Bayo Joe and his wife, Justice Onogen and his wife, Clement David Ebri, who was to come but last minute had to go to the ceremonies for Dr. Wires, Tony Elumelu of UPA, we thank all of you. And indeed, we thank all of you here who have stood with us. For our priests, they were awesome. I can't mention all of them, so I'll just use 3 as point of contact to say thank you to all of them. Reverend Father Professor Jake Otonko, Reverend Father Louis Mataya Sinfon, and Reverend Father John Mary Atep. You were truly God sent. Our children, the reason why we are here. You are just awesome. They say the sky is your limit, but for you, the sky is your starting point. We thank you all. But let me just use this opportunity, sir. Since all of you put together, if you added your voices, it will make an impact. We must emphasize education in Nigeria. We must prioritize education. A situation where schools are put together with nightclubs in a band called Band A for electricity does not make sense. If a school goes to the bank to borrow money, it borrows at 37%, the same interest rate that alcohol importers will borrow. We must emphasize education. We must prioritize education. So I think all of us together should put our voices, add our voices to the call to government at every level that education must take priority. It is not resources that make a country. It is the young men and women, the children of the youths of the country. And they become resources only when they are educated, when they are skilled, and when they are empowered. If they are not, they become a curse. May our children, through our government, be our resource and not a curse. In Jesus' name. Once again, I thank all of you.